Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen. My screen's fucking blurry. There we go. Fuck's sake. It is in fact your boy, Draw for Death Metal here, and welcome to episode 46 of the Cracking the Shell podcast, where I go behind the scenes of all the blast beats and the noises and stuff with some cool people of music I like, pretty much. It's basically turned into me shamelessly plugging my friends. And on this episode, we have the boys from Covet the Throne. Gentlemen, how's it going?
All right, all good, bud. Oh, how you doing?
These lovely fellows are joining me from across the ocean. You know, that thing. My screen keeps going fucking blurry. Hold on. See, I'm professional. Let's try that. There we go. The most professional. These fellows are joining me from across the pond, somewhere in fucking, I think it's Ohio. I forget. I did my research.
Yep. Yep.
So intelligent. In bumfuck Ohio. Anyway, before we get into nitty gritty and all the fun stuff, I'd like to hear, how did we get here? How did all of you meet? How did Covet the Throne come together? Where did you guys come up in music and, all that stuff?
I was raised around music. My parents were musicians. I started playing when I was about 6 years old, so I've been playing for about 33 years now. I've been in and out of bands pretty much since like my childhood. I kind of hung up the towel for a few years. Just kind of knuckled down on work, making money, taking care of family, that kind of thing. And then I met most of these guys, except this guy here, my brother-in-law. I met the rest of these guys at a place I used to work at. And one thing led to another. Chris here started digging into some of the old bands I was in and found some old footage. And he's like, "Why did you stop playing, man? Like, you should really start playing again." And between him, my family, and a bunch of other people, well, I wound up buying an 8-string guitar. And then slowly I started talking these guys all into joining this band. And now we've become what we've become.
COVID lockdown
Amazing.
really drove it too.
Oh, yeah.
Big start.
Yeah.
Too.
I spent a lot of my time sitting around with a interface, a laptop, my guitar, and a fucking drum machine, and just making a shitload of tracks, and then emailing it to these guys and be like, "Here you go. Here's tabs. Here's what tuning. What time signature everything's in. Go for it. Figure
And
it out."
everybody just kind of collectively went, I can't play that.
Then there are also like these guys have also written a lot of like their own parts. Like a lot of it was here. You can follow me if you want, or if you come up with a cool secondary part, knock yourself out. I love it. Nothing sounds more full than two like harmonizing guitars or one holding the pocket down while the other one just branches out and puts a melody out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I love about metal. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like something's missing when you go and see a band and it's just like a four piece and it's just one guy in guitar, one guy in bass. There's just something missing. Just can't put my finger on it.
Rock and roll and stuff, you can have that, but for metal, you need almost the more guitars, the better. You just having.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like Iron Maiden has three, fucking Whitechapel has three, Angel Maker have three, and half of them are vocalists anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
no, more guitars the better. We always need more guitars.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, it just all started becoming a ragtag group. We started recording songs. Eventually, these guys were all like, "We want to start playing out. We want to start playing out." So I started reaching out to clubs, started, putting our press kit out, putting what recordings we had and our social medias out, and eventually we started playing out, and we have continued to branch off to more and more venues. I think the next thing I'd like to do is start trying to dip our toes into some out-of-state shows, to continue to build our following.
Well, I can tell you you're going to get at least one person following from across the ocean, and I don't just mean me. Well, hopefully. You look at your Spotify stats, everybody's from the US aside from one guy, and it's me going, hey, yeah.
Hell yeah. That'll be cool,
But how
man.
did when coming together, what made you guys decide in the music style that you're doing? Was there kind of a collective decision, or was some guy like, no, I want to do this? And everyone's just like, no.
Really,
we're just
like a
doing
raw
what we
sound.
want.
Yeah, this is just kind of like we all played together. Like none of us sat down. We're like, we want to be any sort of specific genre. So when a lot of people ask us, "What style of metal are you?" It's like, man, I don't even. I'm sure we can be classified, but I've never even put that much thought into it because it's not like I specifically go, "Oh, I want to write deathcore style." I might be like, "Hey, I'm gonna write a deathcore style song today." But then the next piece I may bring in will sound more like 2000s Black Dahlia because that was when I was playing the most. Like I was playing when that level of metalcore, and I guess now it's level classified as deathcore. Back 20 years ago we didn't have so many subgenres. Like we had a bunch of them, but that has just multiplied.
Yeah, it's kind of got stupid.
I don't even know all the genres anymore. Like
too many.
Yeah, there's so many. It's like, man, we're some kind of metal. Yes, we have a Cookie Monster vocalist. That's about the best I can describe
it. Guitars, heavy bass, lightning fast drums.
Yeah. We are Covet the Throne and nothing else.
We love it. We love the confidence. Do you guys remember like the first shows that you had done? How awkward was it? Any funny stories?
Getting my pants, man.
Yeah, we were all nervous.
Shit your pants.
Everybody's been. Nobody had been on a stage but him.
Yeah.
He's the only person that had been on a stage before any of this had happened.
So without him, we wouldn't.
We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We didn't know what to expect. We were all kind of like freaking out. But it was kind of cool because the venue that we played at, we kind of knew, the owner at the time, and he kind of made it a little bit easier for us to set up. So it made it a little easier for us to just settle in. We played there for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 different shows, if I'm not mistaken.
And started branching off.
Yeah, we just started going to different locations after that.
More comfortable going to different locations.
Fans that, actually wanted to interact with us. So it was really cool. Huh.
Who would you say has been like your favorite to share the stage with that you've played with so far?
Favorite we played with?
Man, that's like picking between children. I could maybe give you like a list of like some of my top favorites, and especially like there's so many people that are like cool musicians that we've met. Like we've done a show with some groups that's like, man, our genres don't mesh well, but these people were so fun. Like I will say, I'm gonna have to give a big shout out to the guys from the Convalescents, the Behest of Serpents, the Cult of Crowley,
Death and Exhale,
and Mantra Morta. Oh, and Until Death.
Pillars.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fucking Pillars. There were
a lot of people.
We know a lot of people. Like, I really could just sit here and like list off like 20 or 30 bands. I'd have to sit and think about it.
We could glaze all day.
Yeah, everybody we play with has been an extremely cool experience to play with.
Not even humble.
Whether it's been on our genre or not. I mean, it's we kind of learned something new from watching different people play in different genres as well. So
extremely unfortunate to have played with these people.
Our first show, we had old folks swing dancing before we went on. So I mean,
Get Grandpa in the fucking mosh pit. Let's do it.
Yeah, we were told, no, go up there, start playing metal. It's time for these old folks to go home and have a little more bottle of milk.
Next thing you know, you see Grandma fucking throwing her hands and shit like an epileptic ninja. It happens, legit.
Get guys out of here. Let's start the party now.
That's when they all come in. That's when Grandma comes in. She's just like, fuck yeah.
And I will say this much: there were a larger amount of people in that crowd that did stick around than I expected. Yep. Like there was, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of them that were there that was like, oh,
I mean, yeah, there will be. The guys are like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for a piss.
That's what you were here for. This death metal shit that's too much for you. But there were a lot more that stayed there that I was very surprised to see at the end of our set. And then also come up and be like, you guys were cool. Like, what? You're like my grandma's age. Yeah. She hated this.
That's what you want, though, and it's cool that a lot of older and younger people are kind of getting into this shit, and it's not just kind of the same age groups anymore. Like, anytime I've been to shows, I'm seeing super young people. I'm seeing people that could literally be my grandpa.
Yep.
It's fucking...
Metal's popularity has exploded in the last several decades, comparatively to what it was when we were kids.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, even when I was growing up, still kind of hadn't had that peak yet, but eventually, and I don't know if you could pinpoint a kind of single event that made it explode like it has, but now you're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, well, I guess that depends, but you're still going to get your elitist dickheads that are like, "Yeah, metal should stay underground." No, fuck off. You can't sit here and be like, I want this band to be bigger, and then they get bigger. And you're like, no, not that big. Nah.
Nah.
I don't get it.
Just people that like a band while they're underground, but then once they become mainstream, all of a sudden they hate them.
Yeah. And they've all
It's like the end, it's like the fucking black metal jokes, isn't it? It's like, oh, mate, your band sold a cassette tape, mate, you sold out. Guys, our band has sold a demo. Shit, we're mainstream now.
Man, fuck. Somebody likes us. We're in trouble.
Exactly. We gained a follower on Instagram. Shit. We need to disband now.
Now we're gonna get banned from all these clubs because we have too big of a crowd.
Yeah.
They're so popular. They just keep selling out the venues to the point where literally nobody can fit them. Not even like the big fucking arenas can fit them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, fucking one popular death metal or deathcore band that comes to mind is Slaughter to Prevail. I feel like
Yeah.
they've expanded over the years.
Especially like since the pandemic, they've just kind of went ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they played the last show, they're playing a show here where I'm at for the first time, I think ever actually, and it's in a essentially just a giant warehouse. Like just imagine like one of those factory warehouses, like that kind of room, and they've sold that shit out in like minutes.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's pretty neat.
Surprising at all.
But the thing that's really cool about it is the rising tide's going to raise all ships because everybody's going to see bands like Lorna, bands like Slaughter to Prevail, and they're going to dig deeper and they're going to find all these new acts, especially this insane wave of like the MySpace revival shit, like Mauled, Reverend, fucking hundreds more. And I'm here for it.
Yes. Oh, the good old MySpace days.
Get the top five, get the top five on MySpace. Unfortunately, I kind of wish I was a little bit older so I could have experienced MySpace, but I'd started getting into social media about right when it died and Facebook started popping off, and it's not the same. Even I can tell you it's not the same.
Yeah.
Oh no, no. Like,
What's my top five on Instagram? I want to shamelessly plug my top five songs.
yeah. Yeah.
You can put one, that's a start. You can put one, but like a 30-second clip, which is stupid. Why are you making it so hard?
Right.
Right. At the same time, it's so much easier now, even than it was then, to get yourself out there.
Yeah, social
Like
media
due
changed.
to the current state of like the internet and social media, because it was so much different then. You had to work harder to promote and do all the stuff that you can do a lot easier and by yourself today.
Oh yeah, there's no way I would have been able to like record the quality of music we're able to get now without having to pay back then.
Yeah.
And even then, I paid money to get recordings done at studios and have been disappointed with them when I've gotten them back and been like, wow, these free recordings that I can just shit out on my computer as much as I want now are better than some of the recordings that 25 years ago I spent thousands of dollars to have recorded, mixed, and mastered and sent to me just for me to hate it.
It's finding the people that can understand what you're going for and what your sound's wanting to be. Whereas, and this is a thing that I've noticed in a lot of modern deathcore, is that everybody's going to Josh Schroeder, which I like his productions, but can we please have somebody different?
Yeah.
Because it's
You can
all just
always-
starting to sound the same.
Producer's influence. You can always hear like that producer or the studio's influence just a little bit on anybody who comes through there.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it, like you said, it starts to sound very cookie cutter, very template. Like,
It reminds
oh
me
man,
of
these
like
guys.
if any of you know Scott Burns and heard like his massive crash out in the 80s because everybody and their mother was coming to him and it was starting to sound the same. And next thing you know, he just retires and he's just like, nope, I'm out.
I'm done.
Like I'm done doing
Yep.
this.
I ran
Last
my
I heard,
course.
he's like an IT technician, which is kind of a weird jump to go to, which also makes sense because again, computers. But he's went from being a
Yeah.
producer to recording everybody, and now he's just flicking the on-off switch in a computer. It's kind of it's a weird timeline. It's a
Now the
weird
real question
timeline.
is, what money
Who
doing?
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Josh Schroeder will end up doing the same thing. Give it a decade, and he'll have a massive crash out, and then never produce again. Because again, everybody is going to him. It's why if you guys had heard like Mental Cruelty's latest stuff, and it's not produced by Josh Schroeder, and I'm like,
Yeah.
amazing. Helheim is such a fucking banger, honestly.
How much stuff?
But anyway, random tangent aside, which is that's what this podcast is about. It's a giant yap sesh. Let's be real here. But random tangent aside, so you guys have got a couple songs out, both bangers, obviously. What's the next move? Is there anything in the pipeline or
We're recording today.
Yeah, we were getting together. We were actually tracking some drums and some scratch guitars for a new piece that we're hoping to have out sooner than later.
Which will coincidentally also have a feature from the Slam King on it.
Gee, I wonder where the connection is there. Very interesting. Could also, who knows, maybe he'll pop up in other places that I definitely haven't been spamming about on Instagram the last couple of days. Anyway, but I'm sure he will come in and he will make his monster noises and elevate the track to a whole new level, and it's going to be the
Yep.
best thing since, well, the last song you put out.
We appreciate that.
But what I love especially is that your guys' lyrical direction is different. Like obviously lockdown being about, well, lockdown. What where was I going with that? Fuck brain fart. That also happens a lot. Please bear with me. I am stupid. But where do you kind of I suppose this one's more for Chris, really. What kind of things do you do in preparation for writing lyrics? Do you need the instrumental first, or can you just be like, I have lyrics, here you go?
I do a mix of things really when I'm working on it because we'll start off with something and then depending on what they do with the track, we'll obviously start off with kind of like a demo mix and then everybody will start adding little bits of themselves into that and that can change what I'm doing. So I'm usually waiting for the finished track from these guys before I do anything with it. But I'll listen to the song and then I'll think of a concept that I think will fit with that or something that I'm thinking about at that time. The lockdown specifically was one of the ones that we had worked on extensively during the COVID shutdown when we started, and that was kind of the theme at the time. But I wasn't looking at like the outside world side of it. That was more of like a personal perspective on how it felt to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Because like I just kind of want to write what I want. something I'm interested in or that I think would sound good not only to myself but maybe so at the time. So it just depends on what we're doing. But generally I'm waiting for a finished track and I just have a theme that I'm thinking of while I'm listening to these guys make that.
Has there ever been any kind of lyrical concept where everybody has just unanimously went, nope, you're not doing that?
No, we generally don't do that to each other for the most part. We haven't really looked at something and we're like, oh, that's shit.
And in terms of the kind of writing process in general, is it normally very collaborative, or does somebody just be like, here's a whole song?
Right now, I think, especially on the stuff that we're playing on our current set, like when we first started, yeah, it was a lot of stuff that I wrote. during lockdown period. Be like, here you guys go, like, write your own parts to it if you want, or if you want to follow what I'm doing, here you go, follow me. But now as we have continued to work and collaborate together as a whole, like our newer material has been a very collective writing process, not just me sitting at home one day getting like this idea in my head and tracking it out and be like, here guys, here's a song that already got done. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
We've been picking bits and pieces out too. So we'll sit here and we'll just play whatever the hell comes to our mind, and we'll be like, oh, I like that. Let's work around that, and then we'll start making things from just ideas from when we're just playing together.
And what kind of comes first when it comes to writing? Is it usually a riff, or does somebody like maybe you'll have a drum beat, for instance, or what kind of comes first?
I think it's more guitars. Like we'll sit there and we'll start chugging a riff or doing something weird, and somebody will hear a tone that the others didn't hear and go, "Oh, play that again." And then they'll do something on their guitar, and then just traditionally Adam will come in on his drums and just play a nice little part over that, and then boom, that's the start or the middle or the end of the song that we think,
Cool. So obviously you've noted that you are working on a new track, which will feature our resident Slam King. Is this going to be part of maybe a larger body of work, or are you just kind of going down the singles route? Because that's something as well that I've noticed is a lot of bands are kind of favoring dropping singles out more often as opposed to getting a larger body of work ready, which me personally, I'll always be like an album guy. I like an album. I like a big body of work to really sink my teeth into. Whereas I feel with a single, it's like, here's the single, and that's it.
Yep. Like
It always leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
It's a two-sided sword, and I feel like that market has changed entirely because of the internet. Time was, you couldn't just stream songs. People didn't find their music on their social media feed. You found it by albums. Yep. You found it by going to shows.
Yep.
So to buy an album after seeing a band that you really loved and going home and be like, yeah, now I get to listen to it. Like, that's just the difference in time. Now, because everything's on social media exposure, if you put one big piece of work out, like, it's great. I love bands that still do the album, and I still want to do one. The downside of that is with the social media algorithm, you post that album once, you pop up, everybody blows up for a second, and then you fade into the algorithm. Whereas in singles, you're more active. So the algorithm keeps feeding you into people's feeds more frequently. Like, I guess the best band that I can probably state that is prime example of this. Look at how Buried Alive. Look at how that guy is always just cutting little bits. Like, and then maybe an album is taking all those singles that he already did and changing them a little bit and then slamming it on a whole album. But that's why that guy stays so prevalent on your social media feeds, is because he's always got content coming out.
And he has that touch of like the unique sound.
Yep.
Well, I mean, regardless, but like that's like some of it is he's totally using the algorithm to his favor and doing a very good job of it.
He is doing a very good job of it.
A lot of bands do that. There's lots of bands that are doing that now, and that's why. It's just because of how social media and music exposure, that's how the market's become now. As an old school musician that played all these dive bar shows, from as early as the late 90s up until now, I've literally watched the game change in front of me. Like, I watched it change. I watched it change from, bands now, merch tables, you're less likely to find CDs and albums at a table because nobody buys the music anymore. It's all streaming.
Yeah.
So they buy. Here we go. Y'all buy shirts instead.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how you make your money. Like, nobody really makes their money off of music anymore. It's their merch.
And we would all prefer to buy a CD.
I'd love to.
Even a record, a nice little record, dude. Those are sick.
I still love vinyl records. I just hate how expensive they are.
I know, right? God.
Oh, it makes me cry. There's a record chain probably the only kind of big record store chain called HMV over here. And I'll go in there and I'll find the metal section. I'll find, oh, I fucking love this album. Why is it £50?
Oh, geez. Right.
And that's cheap. Yeah, I've seen some other ones that, like say if it's a big album by like Metallica or some shit, and you're closing in on £100 for like 4 discs of vinyl. And I'm going, excuse me?
That's the sad part. Somebody will pay for it because it's like a collector's piece at that point.
Yeah.
And that's all people do is go and look for the pricey items to either resell or obviously if you keep it in your collection, good on you. But
The limited ones specifically, people just buy them to sell.
yeah, all resellers.
Yeah, 100%. But I am a sucker for a really sick, like limited colorway vinyl. Like I have a bunch of Saxon albums that are like all these weird like colorways and splatters and swirls and shit. And I feel that that's an art in and of itself. If you can make a really eye-catching limited vinyl, I love that shit.
I love watching the video of how
they're
those are
made.
made. Like,
Oh
those are
God, yeah, that's so satisfying. You just see it getting trimmed and then I've
Yep.
always I've always wondered like how the fuck does that actually get on the record? Like how does the music get onto the record? I know it's obviously like it's being etched, but how does music files translate into like thingies on a record? I've always wondered how the fuck that works.
Yeah.
Science.
That'd be something. That would be something
Science,
cool to
magic.
I've never thought about that. Like, I kind of want to check this out. I know going from the physical to the digital, how that all works, because like
Yeah.
I've seen people do that, but to reverse it, yeah. How does the digital file
Become
work?
analog
Yeah.
again.
It's
I
kind
don't
of a
know,
weird
yeah.
paradox. We started off with cassettes, and even like when making records, you would record to tape, and then the tape slowly became like the computer, and everything was like still mic'd up with amps and cables and speakers. And now we've just gone to everything's in a computer, even your amps in a computer. It's kind of nuts.
You're done.
Our first couple of shows, that's how we wound up to Travel Light. We took a computer, we took our big 8-channel Focusrite, and I ran everybody in through VSTs, dialed everything in through Reaper, sent all the outputs out for the sound guy,
And everybody was through the focus, right? All of us.
all of us.
There was even we had an electric drum kit that we were using too. And that was over the focus, right? So, but it was easier to manage on the sound guy's end because all he had to do was dial into our focus, right, and just run it out, and he can master the mix up there. But now you got to worry about mic'd up amps and drum pads and all that, and even like drum triggers and stuff. And nothing against drum triggers, but it's just another thing to add in and possibly mess up.
yes, we have a much more extensive setup now.
Yeah.
Because I do just love the sound of a real amp and an amp.
Oh, no, yeah.
Right. I will say the one thing about like doing the DI setup, it sounded just fine from the stage, but if you went up like on stage, you can hardly hear shit.
Muddied as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't hear anything because we didn't have an actual backline. Like it was just DI. Saved us a lot of space, but man, it was like it's a little empty, guys. Let's build our backline. Let's finally do this.
Let's get the big cabinets that nobody wants to carry, and we all know the vocalist is never going to carry it, right?
We're about halfway there. We didn't quite do full stacks, but what we've got for now will work.
We got a good sound guy. You don't
We
need to
do
worry.
pretty well with the equipment that we use, and people are like, the last show we played, somebody walked up to his amp and he was like, "That's cute."
Yeah,
He's like, "I don't mean that in a bad
in a
way."
good way. In a good way.
Oh, that's cute. You have an amp? That's adorable, Grandpa.
2-speaker stacks. It's like 212s with the Laney head on it. So then that way it's like it's a 2-speaker.
It's more compact. It's
Yeah.
vertical instead of horizontal, so you're able to fit it better in a car and carry it.
It's
And
so
it's
light,
But it still packs a punch.
It's so
Still
nice.
packs a punch.
Which means nobody gets to complain about carrying gear anymore. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nope. Except Adam.
Because you got a lot of it.
I mean, yeah, but that makes sense. He's the drummer. The drummer has about 15 different bags, whereas pretty much everybody else has at max 2, and then you've got Chris over here that has 1.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I don't know shit.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's true. The vocalist never does anything. He never actually contributes with loading. I mean, look at all
I
the
do.
Raised by Owls sketches. They're just speaking facts at this point.
We still tease you about it, but
Uh,
he does help. He's good.
glorified roadie.
He's really our roadie. We just let him yell into a microphone.
Yeah, I mean, at least he does it good, so you can keep him. Whereas, imagine if you just took him on stage and he just went, right, get off. Ends up turning into fucking Chris Barnes after the next 5 years, and all you hear is. I love how he's become such a fucking meme, and apparently, like, he stopped all the drinking and all the marijuana, and apparently, allegedly, he sounds good, but I'll still never forget the time he blocked me on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a tool.
I've often thought about, if I ever got to meet him one on one, I would just play that clip real quick and be like, why that? Like, if you can just tell me what it is, why, then okay. But
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, it makes sense that the last few albums he has produced, because otherwise, I'm sure there would be somebody going, "Can you do that again?" Because genuinely, like, I will admit, he put out an album, I think, last year, actually, and this year as well, and I'm like, wow, this doesn't sound like a turd. You mean he's
Oh.
actually put effort in?
Yeah. There's that one style he does that I'm just like, oh, and here we go.
Yeah, so just don't do anything high, Chris. Like, I'm imagining, like, the rest of the guys are just sat in the studio going, don't do a high vocal. Just keep it low, because we don't need any more E's.
Yes, we don't need any more E.
Yeah.
We love
man.
me. Like, I love as somebody that does genuinely like 6 Feet Under, not obviously any of the later stuff because obvious reasons. But if you go back to like the early 90s to the late 90s, those albums are incredible. And then you get up to the early 2000s, and there's a song with Ice-T on it.
Fuck, I even love some of their covers, like Sweet Leaf.
Oh God, yeah, their covers are fucking funny as hell. Especially the Deep Purple one and the AC/DC one.
Yeah.
So if there was ever like a cover song that you guys would do, whether to take the piss out of it or to actually walk in and do it justice, what
Oh,
covers
God.
would you pick? You all get to pick one.
We all have a song in mind, but none of us can come up
Yeah.
and go.
It's like the running joke of the band.
It is a running joke.
Yeah.
That's the running joke of the band.
It's
is we
funny
can't think of
because
cover songs.
when we had initially started, we were going to do covers, and we started working on some stuff, and we were like, "Fuck that!" We started just writing our own shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just.
This is too hard. I'm gonna write my own shit.
It didn't organically fit with us at the time.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, yeah,
We are raw and as raw as it gets.
like that's one of the cool things that I've noticed. A lot of bands now, they're out there with like in-ears. They're trying to be like perfect and shit. We go up there, we fucking eat shit and keep going, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
There's something admirable about a band that just plugs in and goes. It's genuinely a lost art form, I think.
Yeah.
that's definitely us to the T.
Nitty gritty and rock.
Yes, sir.
Don't even
That's what
spit
you
on
want though, and also I love a lot of the kind of Melodeath influences because I feel that's something that's just not really done anymore, and the bands that are still around doing it just aren't as good. I mean, Amon Amarth, prime example. Hey, here's a new song. It's fully acoustic.
Like, what?
It's
Oh.
good, but it ain't.
Right, boy, I just imagine this in like their fucking band meeting. They're just going, right, guys, we've got a new album. What song are we going to put out to really start the hype train? Let's put out the fully acoustic number. Because I'm listening to it and it's got like the folky bit in it, and I'm like, all right, this is cool, it's thematic. And then we're getting to like 30 seconds, a minute and a half. I'm going, am I going to get riffs here? And then I didn't. And then I was just kind of left like this.
Yep.
Well,
Left at a semi-chub.
I was left at a semi-chub. I was like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. No. literally edged, and then no satisfaction.
Fucking damn.
No.
I feel the same way, and this is probably going to be a little bit of a hot take, but I want to like Mortician a lot more, but when half your song's the fucking sample,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like the sampling thing.
it's definitely getting done a little too much.
Yes, like some bands can slip some here and there, but like that was something I saw really start to come out, like being in like the 2000s metal scene. There were a lot of bands that were doing all the samples with the movie clips part way through a song. Like it was cool the first 10,000 times I heard it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it kind of became like a niche. It became cliche. It was just like, oh well, this is another one of those bands that now I'm gonna get some fucking movie clip
You almost,
every breakdown.
you almost expect it.
Yeah.
like just come up with a good breakdown call out. Why are you putting a movie clip? Just look
Yeah.
at Kyle from Body Snatcher. He can pull breakdown call outs out his arse. Just
Just go ask the crowd.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, just talk.
yeah,
to the
just
crowd.
ask the crowd. I'd have said something stupid, like honestly, because that's just the way my brain works. It's full of stupid shit, which is why I've said, if anybody wants anything heinous said as a sample, I will 100% do it. I have no limits. I'll do it.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
For a friend of
I-
mine's band, we had just seen the band Party Cannon, and we were outside the venue, and I just on the spot, like Jake, who you'll know, Chris from Discord, he thrusts his phone in my face and is like, "Come up with something funny," and I'm just going, "Yay, lung cancer!" Just shit like that, I would love to do. But if you're going to do a sample, make it at max like 30 seconds, especially when your song is 2 minutes or less. If a third of your song is a sample, it's like, why are you blue balling me?
Everybody's standing around on stage doing nothing but listening to the sample.
Like at least how like maybe you have the drummer doing some cool like tom fills or something to add some atmosphere or some like light clean leads or interlude parts, and like that's another pet hate of mine is here's the interlude or the intro or the outro in an album, like your album's got 10 tracks and one's an intro, one's an interlude. It just kind of wasted space.
Right.
I never did get that. It's became such a big thing recently is here's this random bit of atmospheric shit at the beginning of the album, and it's like I would rather have a cover song than that.
Yeah. Do something cool. It kind of gets you into the album, especially with like you have a nice intro, like even like an acoustic intro, and then
Yeah.
it like gets death metal and deathcore. The next track's just like screaming and Cookie Monster noises all the time. It can make it cool, but it's overdone anymore.
Fucking, I feel like Black Braid does a lot of good fucking intro to their albums.
Hell yeah.
Black Braid are sick. I love Black Braid. That's been probably the last time I was mega excited about black metal because again, it either is mega cheesy symphonic shit or it sounds like it was recorded in somebody's Toyota.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even really fuck with black metal. Just Black Braid though is one band I'll definitely recommend somebody to listen to. They're like
Yeah, 100% to that. 100%. Black Braid absolutely kick ass. But speaking of kicking ass, that brings us on to obviously we've got new music in the pipeline. Is there anything else in the live front potentially in the works that you can obviously talk about?
I think currently we're just we're kind of slowing down because we've been playing decent amount of shows. We're all a bunch of old ass men except for these two. Between work and everything, we finally have a chance to like breathe and to be able to like focus on like working on these things.
We're like super appreciative of all the venues that have had us and all the bands we played with, but it's nice to take a break from it for a little bit and then maybe even focus on writing some new stuff or just brainstorming more about what you can do with merch or what you can do with like social media, Spotify, and all that.
What's an item of merch that you don't really see often enough that you would love to make?
Hats.
Magnets.
I'm so bald. I want hats, and there's so many bands I go.
I can relate. See,
like,
can
no, I'm
relate.
like, damn. All right, I guess I'll take a shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I'd cop a if you make a snapback like this, I'd cop it 100%.
Oh yeah.
Get some sweatpants, get some covet thy ass booty shorts or something.
That was another thing I was gonna say. I bought a pair of shorts. They're not booty shorts though. They're a pair of gym shorts from the Behest Serpents. And, like that was one thing I got them, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this is the first pair of like any sort of like band shorts or pants I've ever bought in my life. It's always been shirts, hoodies, or hats.
Yep.
So
Or sweatpants.
Or sweatpants.
I never got
Sweatpants. We
sweatpants.
want to be
I
hot
just
all the
sweatpants.
time.
I do like a nice pair of sweatpants. 100%. I'd cop some Covet the Throne sweatpants, but you gotta. What I've noticed as well is that when they make like band sweatpants, it's like the logo's really tiny and it doesn't even take up the whole leg. Like if you're gonna do sweatpants, like something long, take up the whole leg.
Yep, down the
Oh,
whole
for
leg
a
or
fucking
something.
sure.
Yep. 100%.
Like same thing with, and this is why I don't really get a lot of metalcore merchandise because it's here's the logo and the nipple, and then the cool shit that's in the back. It's like I'm looking down, I can't see anything. I just see a little nipple logo.
It's all on the back of the shirt.
All on the back of the shirt.
Like the mullet of t-shirts, fucking business in the front,
Fuck,
party in the
yeah.
back.
It is the mullet of t-shirts. Yeah, you're right. That's easily the best way to put it is it's the mullet of t-shirts. If you're gonna do a t-shirt, make it loud, make it obnoxious. Like case in point, like MySpace, you had all the big obnoxious designs, the stupid lettering, the goofy artwork. We need to bring that back.
Yeah, just like that. And on the back, it has like words.
Yeah.
So it's nothing too crazy. You know, it doesn't like.
You're gonna have back print, make it ridiculous, or don't do back print. Same with like if you get long sleeves, and it's like cool, front design, back design, nothing in the sleeves. Why are you doing a long sleeve then?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
like, put something on the sleeves. Like, might as well.
I got a
Something
fucking
on the
long
hood.
sleeve scab hag t-shirt. That's fucking dope as fuck. It's got their arachnoid logo on the fucking sides.
Brandon Sacrifice got a lot of stuff like that. I
Yeah.
got two shirts of that, Brandon Sacrifice, they've got it all over the fucking place. On the front, you've got like, the album name, and then you've got it on the sleeve as far as, like the actual band name, and then it's something fucking crazy on the back, dragons and shit. So
Oh yeah, 100%. I love Brand, especially since you mentioned them, especially. They tickle my inner nerd because they do a lot of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh theme merch, and I'm just like, ooh, that tickles me so good. I love when bands like embrace their inner nerd because obviously, like another thing that's became massively prevalent in metal is everybody likes Magic the Gathering, which is it gets to the point where like I don't know if you've heard, but there was times where Frozen Soul they would throw out two commander decks and have them play Magic the Gathering in the pit. Which how the fuck does that work?
That's cool. Oh man.
they're trying to figure shit out.
We need to find your thing because like Archspire has like the Twister pit where they throw out the fucking Twister mat, and then you've got Frozen Soul throwing out the Magic the Gathering cards. What's going to be like your thing? What's going to be your incredibly stupid gimmick?
Hit my man thong and just fucking go crazy. Just fucking hit my man thong as everyone's going around me. We can call it a circle jerk pit.
Circle jerk. Oh, that's fucking. That sent me. That's funny. Get in the circle jerk pit. I want to see no penis left uncomb.
I mean, maybe if we were Cannibal Corpse, I could see getting away with it if we were Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
The fact that they haven't made like Icon Blood loop still eludes me to this day. That's like free marketing. It's like fucking. Like Amon Amarth have like the beer horns and shit. We need like Cannibal Corpse Icon Blood fucking soap or some shit. Just something random and fucking out there. It's like you've seen like Stillbirth had toilet seats for a bit. It's like, yeah, anytime I want to take a dump, I want to see a slam band.
Yeah.
So we need to find the. I mean, I'm still game for the covet thy ass booty shorts, but we need to find something else or maybe pillows or some shit. I think that'd be fun.
One of the things is like trying to find because t-shirts and everything. Don't get me wrong, awesome. Everybody's gonna buy a Devo when they can. But it's finding that unique niche that people don't have. It's always trying to find something to stand out. And
Magnets,
it's a
man. I'm
bitch.
thinking.
Magnets.
Well, I mean, he did, but whenever we first were starting out, he went ahead and he did some 3D printed of just our logo, which was kind of cool. So, we were just able to give those things out. It's not like, we made a lot of money off of it. No,
Yeah, it's like sitting right
we were
around that
planning on
corner.
making money off it. It was just something to, kind of give people that way, they can either remember who the hell we are, because that's important. But also, to get people involved. We didn't really have a merch table, anything like that. We haven't had a merch table at any of our shows. It's mainly just, looking at every other band and kind of wishing that we had the cash to throw in.
That's fucking sick. That would look really good as like a pin badge, I think. That would look sick as a pin.
Yeah. Dude, and pins are something that would be easy to do yourself. And that's one of the things is like the bands there's always the financial aspect of things like that. And like, why aren't people doing more to find a way to produce these things themselves?
Yeah.
And I've myself personally been racking my brain on what I could do. Can I take a stencil that I 3D print and make a handmade bleach one of a kind shirt? Yeah, it would be a limited amount because I'm one person or whatever. But like I would like to see some like bands put effort like that in instead of just like you pay for your art, don't get me wrong. But put in that work too. Because I feel like the fan base, people around you, the local communities would also appreciate that you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's more genuine.
100%. They can see that like time, effort, and a lot of love has been put in as well. And I think it's cool to see that it's kind of going backwards where everybody was trying to get everything mass produced, and whereas now a lot of bands' mindsets are what can we do ourselves? Like a lot of bands are running independently, not using labels and stuff like that, which obviously they still have their advantages, but the way of doing things DIY is so much more accessible than ever, and I think that's amazing to see.
Oh yeah, totally. Right. That was what I was touching base on earlier about the whole concept of being able to, produce the quality of recordings that we can from home. Like that would not have been impossible 20 years ago when I first started with what the equipment that was even available to buy at home at an affordable rate.
Yeah, and it's affordable to a certain degree now.
Yeah.
I mean, there is always Pirate Bay, but obviously we at Cracking the Shell don't condone piracy. But at the same time, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing, right? Cough, cough, Sony.
It's only illegal while you're downloading it. Once you have a file,
Oh, I mean, yeah, 100%, absolutely. It's not illegal to own it. See, you just got to get past that first bit. Everything just seems to be going fucking backwards. Like I'm sure you guys have seen the whole thing of, oh, we're going to stop doing physical discs, and when you go and buy the game, it's just got a QR code in it. What?
Yep.
Yeah. Dumb as
That's
shit.
so fucking. Apparently, everybody's planning and boycotting and fucking unsubbing from PS Plus for that reason, which is completely valid.
I mean,
I also seen this as well, that apparently Xbox are doing this thing where like they're discounting the game by upwards of 25% if you buy it physically. And then you put in the disc and the license is yours and you don't need to put the disc in ever again.
yeah.
Complete opposite move from Xbox, and that's why they're cooking right now, whereas Sony's just kind of on fire.
Yeah, no kidding. They definitely shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion, there.
It's wild how these big companies will shoot themselves in the foot and then complain that their foot hurts. That's basically what they're doing. We're seeing that a lot lately, and I don't know if it's funny or if it's frightening. I'm gonna go with the latter.
It's frightening enough that it's funny now.
It's just whether it's like, the meme of like the little dog in the kitchen and everything's on fire and he's just going, this is fine.
Yep. Yeah.
If you really dig deep into that too, you look at the video game itself, and a lot of people skip over the fact that there's people that sat down for hours and hours and hours and weeks and years of their lives creating the art and the 3D models and the storylines and everything for all these video games and stuff like that. And they're also getting shot before too.
Yep.
Like, it's horseshit.
It is horse shit. Always support real art. Always support real artists. Like prime example, the logo for my YouTube channel, done by a lovely lad by the name of Byron, who Chris will know. He does incredible artwork. He does incredible logos. So if anybody ever needs any kind of artwork done or design done or anything like that, whether it's a logo or for t-shirts or fucking whatever, definitely give him a shout. Lovely, works quick, easy to work with, 100%.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. He does great stuff. And speaking of doing great stuff, I know that you guys are going to do amazing. 100%.
Well, yeah,
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on the podcast. Before we wrap up, is there anything you want to shamelessly plug, shout out, mention? The floor is all yours, gentlemen.
So first thing is we want to appreciate you and thank you for having us on the podcast.
absolutely.
100%.
Complete honor. Thank
Taking
you.
time out of your busy night to talk to us. Plugs, I mean,
Follow us on Spotify.
we're on all social media, Spotify, Facebook, we're on YouTube, Apple Music, all that. So if any- Instagram, we do have a link tree.
Apple Music, I think.
Yep. I said Apple Music,
Oh.
sorry.
My bad.
But yeah, we're
Burnout.
all over the place. Any exposure is good for us, and we appreciate everything everybody does already for us. So,
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
thank
maybe
all of
one of
you
these
who may
days,
tune in and watch this.
yeah, thank all of you guys too.
and you're doing
Yeah,
good.
100%. Thank you, everybody that takes the time to listen to me be autistic on Maine and do this podcast for 46 episodes, which is kind of nuts in and of itself, given it only started about 2 years ago.
Congrats
It's
to you.
been a lot of fun, and obviously getting to meet some amazing people like yourselves who do amazing things, make great music. And that's the one thing I want to stress is that even if this gets you like somebody else that's like, hey, that's good, I'd say I've done my job.
Of course.
Good.
And we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you all, gentlemen. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you like what you hear from the Covet the Throne boys, I'll have everything linked in the description. More stuff is coming. Be playing shows everywhere they can, I'm sure, in the future. And who knows, maybe they'll hop across the pond and we can get Chris to finally try Greg's.
That'd be sick.
Greg's is on me, boys, whenever you're over here.
Oh yeah, man.
It's been good.
Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace and fucking love. Mwah.
Love you, buddy.